Next we are going to see how you are going to face a face to face interview, that is a general interview. We just saw how you face a telephonic interview. Now we are going to see how to prepare first and how to go about it. See, telephonic interview is just a little easy because anytime they may call and any dress you wear, it does not matter. But for a general interview, which many of you may have to go, your appearance, your gestures, your mannerisms, your body language, everything makes a very great impact on the interviewer. So, you have to be very, very careful. Okay, shall we see preparing for a general interview? Attending interviews is a very normal activity for most job seekers, but it calls for a great deal of preparation. Now, I am going to give you a checklist as to how to face an interview. Okay? So, this is a general interview. So, checklist. Now, let us see what are the things very, very important. Organize all necessary documents and testimonials. You have to keep everything in a file. Sometimes you go there and then they will ask for some document, you will have to search for it, all that will speak very badly about you. So, you have to organize. Please take down all these points, okay? Very, very important. Organize all necessary documents and testimonials. Okay, second point, find out the exact location of the office along with the time and date of the interview. Exact location, because last minute you can't be running around searching for the company or the office, you have to go for interview. Along with the time and date. You have to, if you are attending an interview, you have to have a planner in your at home where you write down all your activities, the plan for the month or the week, everything should be written there, and this time interview at this place. Now, finding the exact location, it is very easy these days. You can put on your GPS and in your mobile phone and you can track the way. It is easy, but at times even your GPS may give you a wrong direction, that is in case the road which is under construction or which is under renovation, if that does not go, then you will have to take a roundabout route and go. So, you have to be very careful. So, it is better you do a recce. Recce means go and find out where the exact location is the previous day itself, before the day of your interview. Okay. Third point, wear formal neat attire. You can be any way dressed for your telephone interview, but here you have to be definitely in your neat formal attire. You can't be wearing jeans and a t-shirt for your interview. You have to be neatly dressed, neatly ironed clothes, and don't wear any flowered or flowery dresses. Have a nice plain neat shirt or a sari neatly pinned up if you are wearing a sari, and formal attire, and don't wear a Kanchipuram sari, ladies. So you should, it's always good to wear a cotton sari and go. Okay. So dress matters a lot. Wear formal neat attire. Attire means dress. Fourth point, at the office, be polite and patient, not nervous or irritable. Okay. First you walk in with confidence. Okay. Walk in with confidence. That is why many people attend personality development course and all. How to maintain a very confident profile. Okay. You should always look very confident. Even if you are scared within, don't ever show it out. Just keep a very bold, confident countenance and face anybody like, don't say, yes sir, I don't know, yes sir, I will, all this will give a very bad impression. So you should have a very confident profile. Okay. You should personality. Walk in with confidence, be polite, patient, and cheerful. Do not get irritated, or even if they irritate you. Sometimes the interviewers ask all silly questions and they irritate a person. Do not get irritated. Okay. Be calm and answer. Okay. Next point. You have to wish all the members of the interview panel collectively. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, in case there are ladies and gentlemen. In case there are only gentlemen, good morning gentlemen. Okay. Wish all the members of the panel collectively. If there are 4 people, do not say good morning sir, good morning sir, good morning sir. You should just say good morning gentlemen collectively. Okay. Good morning gentlemen. Okay. Before which you should be we should check whether we are thorough with the subject. Okay. Be thorough with the subject of your specialization. Next point, you should also be sure of the nature of the job. Without even knowing what kind of a job you are going into, you should not have walked in for an interview. Be sure of the nature of the job beforehand. Okay. Be careful. Okay. Talk about your work experience, if any. If you have only. If you do not have, just tell them that this is the first time you are applying for a job. Okay. Do not lie. Simply do not lie that you have already worked somewhere. Okay. You also have to be, if you have not heard the question, politely ask the interviewer to repeat it. Like in case he asks you a question and you have not heard, you just say, pardon me, I beg your pardon, could you please repeat the answer? You can ask them. Okay. So, you have to be alert and listen carefully to the questions, and if you have not heard the question properly, you can just request them, I beg your pardon, or could you please repeat the answer, I mean the question, you can ask them. Okay. And I will just make a note of it. Be polite and ask them to repeat if you haven't got the question correctly. How should you ask? Could you please repeat the question? Okay, the next point is, place the file you are carrying on the table and your palms should rest lightly on the knees. Do not keep your hand on the table where the manager or the interviewer is seated. You should always place your hand on your knees, but your file alone should be on the table. And your hands should rest on your knees. Okay. So, you should place a file on the table, but your hands should always rest on your knees. Be aware of your strengths. What do you mean by strengths? Strength is whatever you are good at. Okay. What is your strength? If they ask, like, I am good at this, I am good at assessing people, I am good at teamwork, all this you can say. So, be aware of your strengths. And weaknesses. And what else? Unusual questions will be asked sometimes. So, if you do not know the answer, always feel free to say no if you do not know. Okay, that I need not write, you should know. Be aware of your strengths and weaknesses. Do not underestimate yourself. Okay. You should also speak good about yourself, but do not speak overly good which you are not good at, just accept. Okay. Do not underestimate yourself. And use simple language always. Okay. Use simple language. But grammatically correct it should be. It should be grammatically correct. And you should always incorporate means make use of. The following magical words. In an interview and resume. Okay. Whenever you go for an interview, the following words that I am going to give you, please use those because that will impress your interviewer. These are the magical words and they are teamwork, next one motivation, next cost cutting, and the next one increased sales or profits. Okay. And next one innovative solutions. And the last one organization. Okay. So, in an interview, when you speak to the interviewer or before which your resume also, use these following words, magical words that will impress your interviewer. You can use these words in your resume as well as you can speak about these words to the interviewer when they ask you questions. Okay. So, I will just read out the 12 checklists that you have to bear in mind. Let us see. First, organize all necessary documents and testimonials before you go. Even before 2 days itself, keep everything ready. Find out the exact location of the office along with the time and date of the interview. So, you have to find the route and also make a big note of the time and date of and the place. You write and paste it where you often see, maybe in your bedroom or the room where you often use, you can post it there. Wear formal neat attire. Okay. So, neat, dress you should wear. Okay. Walk in with confidence. When you enter itself, walk in with confidence. Be polite, patient and cheerful. Just keep a smiling face. Even in a telephone conversation, I told you to keep smiling. Here also I have said cheerful. Wish all the members of the panel collectively. In general, you just say, good morning, gentlemen. Or if there is a lady present there, good morning, gentlemen and ladies. Be thorough with the subject of your specialization. When you enter in for an interview, whatever you are good at, whether it is your computer science or you are an engineer, civil engineer or an interior decorator, whatever your subject is, you have to be thorough with your subject. Be sure of the nature of the job beforehand. Now, what portfolio, what is the job that you are going to take up? So, you have to be sure of it, you have to be thorough with your job. Talk about your work experience, if any. Like if at all you have any experience in any other firm, talk about it to your interviewer. Be polite and ask them to repeat if you haven't got the question correctly. In case you haven't heard, you should always listen carefully, be very attentive. In case you haven't heard the question correctly, ask them to repeat politely. Like how would you ask? I beg your pardon, would you please repeat the question? Place the file on the table and your hand should rest on your knees. Be aware of the strengths and weaknesses. Whatever you are good at and whatever you are bad at, you should know. You should analyze your personality first. And don't underestimate yourself also. That is, you shouldn't put down. You shouldn't have a low estimation of yourself. Use simple language always. You need not be pompous and use flowery languages to impress the examiner. Use simple but grammatically correct language. Okay? And always incorporate the following magical words in an interview and resume: teamwork, motivation, cost cutting, increased sales and profit, innovative solutions and organization. So, all these will make you a very successful candidate. We are now going to see a different kind of an interview. This is not for a job, but a superior officer wants to interview a student for a scholarship. Okay, he wants to check whether the student really deserves a scholarship. So, we are going to see the situation now. Anand is a student of physics studying at Presidency College in Chennai. He is interviewed by an officer from a charitable organization for a scholarship. Okay. So, there are a lot of scholarships which the government gives or even the charitable organization gives, but they will first interview the student whether he is capable or whether he is really acceptable for that particular scholarship. Okay, so now let us see this dialogue, or it is an interview between Anand and the officer. Anand has been called into the office and he says, Anand, good morning sir. And officer. Good morning, Anand, or hello Anand, good morning. So, he first wishes, he enters in and wishes, and the officer wishes Anand. Be seated. So, he is asking him to sit down. Next, first Anand thanks the thank you sir. He sits. And then the officer. Anand, please tell me something about your present studies. Please tell me, or please enlighten me, he can say. Please tell me more about your present studies. And Anand replies to it, I am a first year student of MSc Physics of MSc Physics at Presidency College. In Chennai. I was indeed a successful student. You can even say successful or a remarkable student. Remarkable, why they say is he's got very good marks in all the exams. And the officer says, tell me more about your parents. And Anand, why do they give a scholarship when the parents are not able to support a student for the tuition fees or for the examination fees or for the full fees for the term? That's when the social organizations, they give them scholarship. That's why they want to know about the parents. And immediately Anand replies, my father works in an agricultural farm. My mother works in a school canteen. For which the officer asks him a question. Well, how much of financial help do you expect from a charity? And Anand replies, I'll be grateful to you, sir, if I could get the course fee reimbursed. If I could get reimbursed. Oh, I see. We'll try to help you. See, even college education is very, very expensive. So, unless parents support, if we don't get, we will have to depend on someone. So, oh well. So, now this charitable organization, they are pleased with Anand's background. So, they are willing to help. We shall help you with it. It stands for the course fee. Thank you very much, sir. I'm greatly obliged. Okay. So, if you see this interview, this is a general interview, a part of a general interview. A person, that is an officer from a charitable institution, he is interviewing a student as to whether he is efficient enough or capable of getting their fund. Okay. They would have collected some money and they are going to give that money to a deserving person, and that is why they are interviewing Anand. Anand enters the room. Good morning, sir. Officer says, hello Anand, good morning, be seated. Anand says, thank you, sir, and he sits. Officer, Anand, please tell me more about your present studies. Anand, I am a first year student of MSc Physics at Presidency College in Chennai. I was indeed a remarkable student. Officer says, tell me more about your parents. For which Anand replies, my father works in an agricultural farm. My mother works in a school canteen, My father works in an agricultural farm and my mother works in a school canteen. Maybe this Sattunavu place, Kudam and all, she may be working. Well, how much of financial help do you expect from our charity or this charitable organization? Anand says, I will be grateful to you, sir, if I could get the course fee reimbursed. That is, he has already somehow paid, he has borrowed money and paid. If they reimburse, what does that mean? If they give the money to take it out, okay. Sometimes reimbursement means you pay for medicines in a hospital and somebody else reimburses. That is, they pay exactly that amount instead of the money that you paid. So, he wants it to be reimbursed. Officer says, oh well, we shall help you with it. And Anand thanks the officer. Thank you very much, sir. I am greatly obliged. Okay. So, there ends the interview. Well, we are just going to see a mock interview. Okay. We are just going to assume an interviewer and you, and how we are going to go about it, what you should do and what you should not do. Okay. Each step I am going to explain how you should reply and how you should not reply. Okay. Now, we are going to have Lalita Raj, the Associate Director of Personal Services and Retail Services Corporation, as the interviewer. And you just walk in, you are sitting at the reception and she just comes and introduces herself and then she takes you inside the office. Okay. Now, interviewer. Hello, I am Lalita Raj, Associate Director of Personal Services. It's very nice to meet you this morning. Please follow me back to my office. Could I offer you a cup of coffee or a soft drink? This is how they ask in a very high rated offices. Okay? That is, they'll try to be very friendly to you, but you should not take them for granted. You should keep your position. If they offer you coffee or tea or any cold drink, you shouldn't immediately say, oh thank you, I like coffee, I like this. It will look very cheap of you, so you should always keep to your profile. Okay. So, in case she says that, recommended answer will be, thank you Miss Raj, it's very nice to be here. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you this morning. Thank you for the offer of coffee, but I am just fine right now. Okay. This is how you should first talk. This is another answer. I am just telling you, you should not do this. Okay. Try to avoid this kind of an answer. I am just glad I could find the place. Sure, I will take a cup of coffee with extra cream and sugar. Nice office you have here. Okay, all this sort of things you please avoid. Okay, don't think that you are appreciating them and talk all this towards the beginning itself. Next, when the interview starts, the interviewer will ask you, please take a seat. I'd like to ask you a few questions this morning, if I may. Tell me a little bit about yourself, what you like to do in and out of your office, and how would you describe the way you deal with people. The recommended answer, that is how you should answer, I will let you know now. Thank you for the opportunity to meet with you today. I would describe myself as a typical workaholic. I enjoy, actually this interview is for a school teacher, okay, school higher secondary teacher. So, the principal or the associate director of the group of schools is interviewing a person for the post, okay. So she goes on, he or she goes on. Thank you for the opportunity to meet with you today. I would describe myself as a typical teenager. I enjoy school, extracurricular activities, and I work a few hours a week after school. Dealing with people is one of my strong points, as I seldom find someone I cannot work with. I have many friends at school and get along with all kinds of people. I am involved in a club at school in which I am often called upon to mediate between groups and with very different ideas. Okay, this is how you should answer. Next, I am going to tell you what you should not answer. I don't do much besides going to class. I hang out with my friends a lot and we play video games. I guess I get along with people okay. And this job looks like it's something fun to do. So this is very informal way of answering. So please avoid this kind of answer. Next, the interviewer asks, what makes you interested in retail sales as a place to start with your career? This is another kind of interview. What makes you interested in retail sales as a place to start your career? Have you ever had any retail sales experience? The recommended answer is this. I have retail experience in several areas, from selling raffle tickets for the marching band to my experience in the high school bookstore. I am interested in a retail career because I enjoy working with people and I am looking for a position which offers both personal and financial growth based on my sales initiative. Okay, this should be your answer. Now let us see the answer that you should not do, but many people answer this way. Well, I don't have much work experience. I have done a few things in higher secondary school sort of things, but I don't know how much it is really like it. Okay, this is how sometimes people answer, but I don't know how much it is really like this sort of fun. Okay, so don't answer this sort of reply. The next question the interviewer asks, it sounds like you've had interesting experience. I appreciate your honesty. Would you describe yourself as a punctual person? How would you rate your maths and computer skills compared to others in your class of people? And the recommended answer, I have always been an early riser and enjoyed getting to my workplace on time. I don't think I have been late for my office my entire career. I enjoyed my math and computer knowledge and I have taken several computer courses to test my skills. And I also I used a computer to track the inventory in a school bookstore. Now answer to avoid. I get to my workplace on time most days and don't skip my work. I really don't like maths and computer science. I took a computer course but which looked very easy, but then I didn't much get interested in it. I like to play video games all the time. You know, that's one way I pass my time. So, video games, even elderly people these days are caught up with lot of virtual reality games. So, now this watching TV and other movies and all that, it's gone, and now if you read the newspaper, virtual reality games are much in vogue now, in fashion. So, that is what this person is telling. The next question, interviewer goes on, Unfortunately, many young people do not develop a strong commitment to their work. How will you be different? Why should I hire you for this position? Okay, now recommended answer will be sticking to a job to its completion is a value I truly believe in. I've learned through my days in school and my college that the only way to succeed is to be the best in doing the job from beginning to the end. You should hire me for this job, I feel, because I am the type of person you need to continue with your successful career. I am a hard worker who learns quickly, and I already possess many of the skills you are looking for, and I have the personal motivation to get the job done in the right way. Okay, this should be your answer, but the answer you should not give is, I don't mind working, it's what we all have to do. You see, I know you'll make it clear what I have to do, and I'll get it done, of course. I think I can do a good job for you, but you won't have to watch over me all the time. See, this sounds very informal, okay. Though it says that he is willing to work and all that, it sounds very informal. You should always give respect to the interviewer. Okay, now once the interview is over, how would you exit from the interviewer who is sitting right in front of you? After the interview, don't forget to say thank you and goodbye to any individual with whom you have had contact during the day. So, leaving the potential employer with a positive attitude is as important as walking in the door with one. Okay? Now, the interviewer says, now towards the end, I've enjoyed our conversation today. Thank you for your answers and observation. We have several days of interviews scheduled for the position, so I will be in touch with you over the course of the next several weeks. Goodbye. And how you should answer, we'll see. I have really enjoyed the opportunity to learn more about the customer service representative position. The opportunity this job affords me is of great interest. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Again, thank you for taking the time to see me today. Okay, this should be your answer. You should thank them for taking time to be with you and spending time to talk to you and also ask questions to you. And this is the answer to be avoided. Thanks, I am interested. You should never say thanks. I have already discussed with you. Thank you very much. A formal way of thanking is thank you very much. Informal way only, oh, okay, thanks. Okay, that's the way informally you thank. So, see here, thanks. I am interested in what might develop out of this too. Bye. This looks very curt and very, very informal. So, please do not attempt to answer anybody like that. Always to a higher official, you should say thank you very much. Okay, additional suggestions. Watch your language. You are in a professional setting and your choice of words should reflect that. Avoid using slang. Okay, many people these days think it's a fashion or it's trendy to use slangs. Okay, many slangs really, it shows a bad quality of a person, he or she is, or the unrefined nature of a person. So, avoid using slang or any trendy phrases. And for heaven's sake, don't swear. Many people do this, they swear. By God's say, I'm sure this will happen. By my heck, this will happen. So don't ever swear, or don't use any foul language, or don't use any trendy language. Sometimes they use some trendy contemporary language. Please do not use that. Remember that everything you say and do is being observed and evaluated. This is very, very important. You may just think at that time he wouldn't have heard, or maybe he'll forget what I've said. But whatever you have spoken will be recorded in the minds of the interviewer, and they will evaluate you. Once you go out of the room, they'll all sit and discuss, what do you think of that person? He looks very confident. I don't think he is confident. His language was very bad. He was using a lot of swearing words. He was using too many slangs. So all this will be minus points. So you have to be the best when you go before an interviewer. And be careful to avoid other possible turn-offs, such as chewing gum. Never enter into an interview room chewing gum. Or don't ever smoke also. In case there are managers and officers trying to interview you and they offer you a cigarette, even if you are a smoker, don't ever take a cigarette. Just say no, thank you. And don't ever slump in your chair. You should always sit straight in a very good posture. Do not slump and sit, or don't lean and put your leg on top of the other and talk. You should show respect to the interviewer. And don't ever fidgeting. Don't be fidgeting. Fidgeting means meddling with something. When you are talking, don't keep digging into your handbag or some other bag, or don't fidget at all. Okay? Avoid fidgeting. Cracking your knuckles. Many people have this habit of cracking the knuckles like this, making sound with the knuckles. And wearing excessive makeup and jewelry. Okay? You should never wear, if you are going for an interview, don't wear necklace and lot of bangles, or tie with lot of tie pin and handcuff, diamond handcuff and all that. You are not going for a party, you are just going for an interview. And checking your watch. When the interviewer is speaking to you, don't ever keep looking at your watch. It is they who are interviewing you, not you them. So they are expecting you to sit put in your place and answer to their questions. So don't ever insult them by looking into your watch. Sometimes when you keep looking into your watch, it looks as though you are not interested in the interview, but you just want it to end soon. So you keep looking into the watch, they may think. Okay. Next one, failing to use proper titles like Mrs. or Mr. so and so, Dr. so and so. So if you just say yes Prasad, or yes Mr. Prasad, instead of Mr. Prasad, if you say yes Mr. or yes so and so, that's very, very bad. You should always give them, in case a person has finished his doctorate degree, you should always address him as Dr. so and so. You can't call a doctor as Mr. or Mrs. Okay, you should give that proper title. And next one, don't ever mumble like words which are not properly audible. Speak properly and open your mouth and speak clearly. Okay, I am going to write down these things, don'ts, and you please bear it in mind. Okay. Don'ts for an interview. First one, do not chew gum. You should never chew a gum. Next one, do not smoke, or even do not accept cigarettes if they offer you also. Next, do not slump in the chair. You have to sit straight. Even your posture counts. They'll be evaluating you, even your sitting posture. You're walking in a way, and also how you sit also they will evaluate. Do not fidget. Fifth point, do not wear excessive jewelry. Do not wear excessive jewelry or makeup. You are not going for a party, but it's only an interview. Do not break knuckles. I told you what breaking knuckles is. Usually people from village and all, they keep doing this. Okay, don't ever do that when you are sitting for an interview. And do not check your watch. It's very, very indecent. Do not mumble. You should be very clear in your words, okay? And do not use foul language. Foul language or slangs. And do not be too informal. And the main thing is, eye contact is very, very important. When they are asking you a question, look at them straight in their eyes and answer. Don't look somewhere else and answer. It is also disrespecting the interviewer, okay? Always remember, eye contact is very, very important. You should look straight and answer yes sir, no sir, whatever you would like to answer. Don't look there, yes sir, I think so, no sir. No, don't ever do that. So these 10 points you please remember. Chewing gum and answering, some people just to break down their nervousness, sometimes they will be a little nervous, just to remain calm they chew gum. So don't ever do that. And also don't go and slump in the chair, it's very bad. And how you should dress up, there should be a neat dressing with a tie and formal dressing. Always wear formal dresses, but that does not mean a Kanchipuram sari and necklace, no, just a cotton sari nicely pinned up, and it should be a neatly ironed clothes, okay. So all this, I told you, even checking the voice is watch is bad, do not mumble, do not use any foul language or slangs, it will just give you a big 0 in your evaluation sheet. And do not be too very informal. Yeah, don't ever say yeah, okay. You should always reply yes sir or yes ma'am. Yeah is just between friends you can use. You cannot go and say yeah to another higher official. So, remember all this for a general interview.